Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with an updated deck profile for the brand new September 2016 ban list. And today I'll be showing you guys my barrier statue Demise deck. So I am sorry for the lack of activity over the past month or so. It's been really busy with me trying to get prepared for school. Of course, now I'm in my third or fourth week of school. I've been really busy with work as well, so haven't had much time to record. But do be expecting some updated deck profiles here in the next couple weeks. Also, a couple brand new ones as well, including the Steven Universe Gem Knight deck for my girlfriend. And this updated deck profile is for those of you from my Yu-Gi-Oh page and also from my local card store who think I have a hard-on for these set 5 pass decks like this. And I'm not going to argue. You guys are definitely right with all the Demise decks I play, but you did get one thing wrong. I'm not just hard for these decks. I'm rock hard. Yeah, I know I'm lame. But yeah, let's get into this deck profile here. So starting off with the barrier statue monsters, we have the Fury barrier statue of the Drought, which is a rock monster. Reason for the joke, of course. And the one barrier statue of the Torrent. Only change here is I swapped out the fire one for the water one. Only reason for not playing the fire one is because of Metalphos, which are all fire, and a lot of different decks right now are testing out Metalphos as an engine, so I really don't want to just kind of auto-lose to that if I have the fire one. Also not doing the wind one because while Kieran did get limited to one, the Magic Spectre engine is still a key part to a lot of different pendulum decks right now, so don't really want to have Kieran summoned on me and just wreck my face, so I went with the water. Only real problem that I'll have with the water is if I go against Mermails, but that's not really as relevant as of a matchup as, say, the Metalphos, the Zanes, or Metalphos anything, or anything with Magic Spectres, so that's why I decided to go with the water. Then for the final monster, we have the triple Fossil Dyna. Still keeping the monster count low at 7 because, you know, a certain card that you'll see here in a second didn't get touched at all, and I am rock hard happy about it. But yeah, keeping the monster count low, you don't want to draw into multiple monsters, and with testing this build, I've always found that 7 monsters is more than enough. I almost always draw into at least one monster, and even if I don't, I still have very strong back row that I can rely on to at least keep me alive. You'll even see a new card in the back row that just really, really helps in stunning your opponent, whether you have the floodgate monsters on board or not. That's it for monsters. Starting off with spells with the card that somehow did not get touched at all. The triple card Demise, absolutely amazing. I know there's a lot of people, those that wanted to see this card stay at 3, they were saying, well, you know, it's not going to be a relevant part of the format, there's not going to be a lot of decks playing Demise, and, you know, it may not get hit again, but it's just too nutty of a card, honestly. The fact that it makes decks like this, these rogue decks, these stun decks that really don't have any business competing, the fact that it gives them a chance is reason enough for this card to be just busted and limited to 1 or banned at some point, but for the time being, until that happens, I'm going to be playing my Demise decks because I just love it. We, of course, have the triple pod duality to go along with it. Not spending the $70 for Desires. Plus, I don't really like the way that Desires and card Demise mix. I can really get into some cluttery hands and end up having to discard a lot of cards after the draw power from both. So that's why I don't play Desires. Don't think it's worth the price tag right now, but still a decent card. Then for other draw spells, we have the 1 Day of Peace and the 1 Upstart Goblin. Next, we have the Triple Moon Mirror Shield. Really would love to try to swap these out for Mage Powers because it's just such, it's so amazing to think about, Fossil Dynas or Barrier Statues at upwards of 4 or even 5,000 attack, but the Recycle Effect of Moon Mirror Shield has always been clutch for me in testing with this deck, so I really couldn't justify doing it. I couldn't even make room for a 4th Equip spell to where I could do 2 Moon, 2 Mage Power, so I feel like the Moon's still good. I have other attack boosting effects in the deck, you know, like Gaia Power, Sealbori Calcos, and Phantom Knight Sword, so I just think it works well. Speaking of Gaia Power and Seal, those are our 2 field spells, the 1 Gaia Power and the 1 Seal. One of the reasons why we do the 6 Herbs in this deck is because of Gaia Power, giving them the 500 attack buff. And the reason for doing, you know, even 2 field spells in the first place is because without a field spell, if you're going first with card Demise, you automatically have to discard one card at your end phase because you'll have the one monster summon and then the set 5 and you'll still have a card left over. But with the field spell, it gets something out of your hand and can potentially make it to where you don't have to discard. Also, just the attack buffs from these are good, and Sealboard Kalkos' protection effect as well for when you have multiple monsters with the same attack power is really good as well. Then for the final spell, we of course have the one Regeki. So now on to the traps. Starting off, we have a lot of Freeos here. We have the Triple Dark Bribe. I prefer this over Huge Revolution is Over. Prefer it over, say, like Magic Drain or things like that. Now, granted, Huge Revolution is Over, Magic Drain, things like that are probably a bit better if you're looking to just focus on stopping Twin Twisters. But there's a lot more that I want to stop. Things like Cosmojo, Monarch Stormforth, if Monarch are still going to be around, even with the hits they have. Things like Dark Hole Regeki when you only have one monster on board, because Huge Revolution is Over doesn't do anything when they Regeki your one monster on board, which happens a lot. So I just like Dark Bribe for just the really well-rounded negation of spells and traps. Granted, they get to draw a card, but it's very unlikely they're going to draw into the same kind of out again, so that's why I prefer the Dark Bribes. Next, we have the triple Phantom Knight Sword. 800 attack buff is nice. Also, one-time protection from being destroyed by battle or card effect is really nice as well. Basically, if you have this plus a barrier statue or a fossil dyna, they have to use 2 different cards to get over your one floodgate monster, so that's always nice. Next, with the triple powerful rebirth, basically makes it where we're playing 10 monsters in the deck, because if you lose one of your barrier statues or your fossil dyna, you can bring it back. You can also go for some interesting combos for extra damage, where if you have the Earth Barrier statue on board and the Fossil Dyna engraved, you can bring back the Fossil Dyna because it is an Earth. And then the extra attack, 100 attack buff is nice. Also for the fact that when this dies, the monster doesn't die with it is really nice as well. Next we have the triple Solemn Strike, of course good for effect negation that could potentially get over our monsters. Also, if they happen to get over our monsters or just negate their effects, it's nice for having as a surprise to be able to still stop their special summons. Next, we have the triple Story Mirror Force to protect our Floodgate monsters from battle. I like this over Quaking Mirror Force because it actually gets the monsters off the board, and without some like the attack buffs and Moon Mirror Shield, Sec can sometimes struggle with getting over high defense monsters, so that's why I prefer the Storming. Next, we have the new card, the double Floodgate Trap Hole. So this is replacing Compulsory Evacuation Device and Rain Destruction. This actually just came out in the Dark Illusions. If you don't know what it does, it says when your opponent summons a monster or monsters, change that monsters to face down defense position, and then monsters change the face down defense position by its effect cannot change their battle positions. So this is basically Quaking Mirror Force, but as a trap hole, to where it's a lot more responsive. So you'll probably be seeing more of this card in my other Demise deck profiles. Some of them will actually probably be playing free, but in this version I only had room for 2. Just overall really good card. I just kind of fantasize about the best case scenarios with this card, where they pendulum summon a board of 4 or 5, or they soul charge for 4 or 5, and then you flip this and they cry. But even on just one monster, it can be really good. You can use it to just flip something down that would beat over your monster in battle. You can use it like if they're about to go for an Xyz summon, you can flip down the Xyz monster to where they use 2 resources to just lose 1. So Floodgate Trap Hole overall, really good card. I think you could actually make things like Trap Tricks, Replegia, and Mermelio relevant again, honestly. And speaking of trap holes, we have the one Bottomless Trap Hole for just getting rid of those bigger monsters. And to round out the main deck, we have the one Solemn Warning. So that's it for main deck, total of 40 cards. It's 7 monsters, 14 spells, and 19 traps. Not playing an extra deck, really no reason to. Plus, you can maybe trick people into thinking you're playing Domain Monarchs, because of the few people that are still playing Monarchs, I guess a lot of them are going towards a Domain version, but yeah. So really no reason for an extra deck. Starting off with the side deck, we have the 2 Archfiend Eccentric. Not only serves the purpose of an MST against things like Roll Decree, but also as a pendulum monster that you can dump out of your hand as well for card demise. And then speaking of MST, we have the triple MST. We unfortunately can't play Twin Twisters because there's nothing we want to discard, but Honestly, there's really not a lot of back row that gives us any issues, because of course we already have the Dark Bribes in the main. Really just battle traps, honestly, and just removal cards are what give us any kind of problems. Next, we have the double system down for Cosmos. Also, when ABCs come out, it'll be good against them going second. Then we have the one Dark Hole to go along with Raigeki going second if we need to get rid of a big board. Next, in this deck at least, I'm still signing to Triple Mask Restrict. I don't think Monarchs are going to be that good this format, but this is kind of a just in case there's a few that are lying around, because Monarchs are this deck's worst matchup. It has a really good matchup against just about everything else, especially Blue Eyes going first, but yeah, I just want to have these in case I run into Monarchs and I have something that can actually slow them down. Next, we have the double Chaos Trap Hole. Still so many light and dark base decks out there. Just a nice card to be able to shut down those summons. There's a lot of really big normal summonable light and dark monsters as well. Of course, Thunder King Ryo just came back to 2, so there might be some decks playing that. But yeah, double Chaos Trap Hole. Then for the final side card, we have the double Huge Evolution is Over, just in case we need an extra negation card for Twin Twisters or Raigeki, for example. Also good in the Pendulum matchup because it can negate Pendulum Sorcerer. So that's it for this updated deck profile for my Barrier Statue Demise deck. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.